Welcome to Cript Zone.
Hi guys, please feel free to subscribe to my channel and remember to hit that bell icon to get notified of any further content, and also please support me on Patreon. It's $1 and this link will be left in the description below. Morning guys, and welcome back to the channel. Okay, so welcome back to part 2 of our engine recon stripping repairing mission. In part 1 we stripped off the parts that were there on that side. That's now your timing belt, water pump, cam belt and so on. And I had to put the engine mounting back because we had to move the bucky. So today, after finding out a couple of interesting things, we are going to have to take off this entire head so that we can see if there's any more damage to the valves, which are there. That's a valve, and we have to see if there's any problems with the pistons. So before I do that, I just want to make sure that I capture everything to see where it goes. Remember, I'm not a professional repairman. I'm a diesel mechanic, not a petrol mechanic. So I just want to make sure I can see where everything is plugged into, and so that I will not forget, especially this. Last time I had this wrong, and your whole timing is wrong and the whole firing order is wrong. You have to get your right firing sequence. So let's continue. Unfortunately, as with the previous video, I cannot show you physically how to strip it. Easy, take a spanner and you just take those bolts out now, because I don't have a tripod and I don't have another person helping me, so I'm taking a video as I can. And yeah, let's get to it. Okay, so far what I've done, I've taken off that sensor wire. I've taken off that wire. It comes all onto the spark plug unit. I took the whole unit off with the spark plugs, and then I found now when I was taking off this bolts for the manifold that those three were all loose except for that one. Maybe from overheating it came loose, I don't know, but that could explain why there was a bit of engine noise in front where it sounded like the exhaust was leaking. That's probably where it came from, was because those three bolts are loose. I haven't loosened the other four at the bottom yet. I can only assume that they are loose as well. The only one that was tight was that one. Okay, so far I've disconnected only a couple of wires. I've disconnected that sensor. I've disconnected, loosened those two bolts there. Took off the accelerator cable. I've taken off this electrical wiring from there. I took out plugs from there, so I took out plugs and electrical plugs everywhere. So I'm just detaching everything that's connected to the air intake, because that's the next thing we have to loosen and take off the head, is the air intake manifold, so that we can take the head off. That means I might have to take off the fuel injection as well. But to do that I have to get this plate off, this one, but unfortunately the bolt is stripped. So I'm gonna have to try and work around it and see what I can do. Okay, head bolts is out, and this is what I found. The head bolt is rusted. There's actually rust on my head bolts there and there, and then there's this I don't know, sediment or whatever on the bolts. That's not a good sign. So I think it's a good thing that I'm taking this head off. I'm going to have to get new head bolts as well. So now that it's loose, let's see if I can take it apart. Okay, so far so good. Seems to me like I'm gonna have to get a new camshaft for the valves. That one looks a bit worn out, but maybe not. This oil pipe that was there, I think it's an overflow. It broke off. I'm gonna have to replace that. And at the moment the whole thing is loose. I just have to disconnect all my fuel injectors, see if I can get this electrical cable out, and then that water pipe over there, I need to disconnect that one, and yeah, then we should be able to take the whole block just off. Oh, of course the fuel management. It's connected to the injector. I'm gonna have to take the fuel line off. I think there. I'm gonna have to take the fuel line off there. Oh, let's do that quickly. So there we go. There's the pistons, and it seems like that piston got damaged there a bit. I might have to replace the pistons. Yeah. Well, 341 or 345,000 kilometers will probably do that to your car, won't it? So, yeah, and then here we have the actual head, and yeah, I'm going to take that part off now, which is your air intake manifold. I'm going to take that entire manifold off, and then I'm going to take the head to a mechanic to get some advice. The valves were looking pretty bloody good. There wasn't any damage to the valves, and the pistons weren't any problem as well. It was just the carbon that was on top of the pistons. That's what I found out after I stripped everything. Thanks guys for watching, and stay tuned for next week will be part 3, the assembly, and also the last part in the series.
Cheers.